How has online dating worked for you? Posted a comment on a metal band's official page and got a request from this chick. Started talking to her cause I wanted to bone, but ended up with a house and a kid with her. 10 years strong straight out of MySpace. Started talking to her cause I wanted to bone, but ended up with a house and a kid with her. So your attempts to bone were successful. My friend was weighing the pros and cons of dating this girl. He described a girl who I thought sounded really great and advised him to see her. He didn't and I never met her. She had a unique name and years later I see that name on Tinder. I think it couldn't be a coincidence, so I message her the story of my friend and how I thought he blew it. We've been dating for 7 months. I told my friend and he got a good laugh. In classic Reddit form, please return in 7 years and let us know that you are now married and expecting your first child. I've seen how this plays out, and let me be the first to say, congrats. Girl I met online I dated for a few months. Turns out she was temporarily separated from her husband. She started seeing another guy without anyone else knowing. I find out she was cheating on me and still married when the wife or girlfriend of the guy she was messing around with spray painted her car when she was caught at his house one night. The police called me to figure out where I was that night and told me she was married, but not to the guy she had been spending the night with. This was the same day my mother died. Back in 2016, I created an anon Twitter account as a place to blow off steam and rant about things I didn't want my current future employers seeing. Wasn't looking to make friends and definitely wasn't looking for romance. But one day another anon made me one of my tweets with a message like, oh my god, yes, I totally agree with this. We started talking about random topics and hit it off immediately. Over the next few weeks, we talked on the phone a lot, FaceTimed every night, and before either of us realized what was happening we were falling in love. People will argue whether you can fall in love with someone you've never met, but I can tell you that it's absolutely possible. One minor problem: I lived in South Georgia at the time and she lived over 1,000 miles away in Chicago. Another minor problem: both of our parents were absolutely opposed to us dating and did everything they could to keep us apart. She was a freshman in college and I was a sophomore at the time, and both of us were still living at home. So that became a challenge. If you thought a long distance relationship was hard, try having a long distance relationship in secret. Her parents wouldn't let me visit her, and every time we tried to plan a trip to meet up things would fall through. After about 7 months of waiting, I did the craziest thing I've ever done. I got on a plane and flew to Chicago without telling anyone where I was going or telling her that I was coming. I called her from the O'Hare airport and nearly gave her a heart attack. Her parents somehow agreed to let her come see me after loading her purse with mace and pepper spray, and we spent an incredible few days laughing together and falling more in love than we thought possible. Amazed that I would go to that much effort to date their daughter. Her parents eventually relented and gave us their blessing. We continued to date long distance, and in September 2018 I dropped to one knee on the Chicago waterfront and asked her to marry me. She said yes, and made me the luckiest man alive. Fast forward to May 2019. I packed up my life and drove 14 hours straight with my golden retriever to start a new life in Chicago with a girl I love. Adjusting to Chicago has been a challenge for this dead southerner, but it's worth it, and I'd do it all again in a heartbeat. When the stars align and fate brings an incredible woman into your life, you don't give up on her just because she lives 1,000 miles away. If you made it this far, thanks for putting up with my rambling. Hopefully this inspires you not to give up on love. Too long didn't read. Sometimes sliding in the DMs works. Oh, and love always finds a way. Edit. Thanks for the platinum and all of the kind words. Had no idea this would blow up, but glad some of you enjoyed reading it. Rarely match. When I do get a couple messages back and forth of pleasantries and getting to know, then ghosted. Every time. Never gotten a date with anyone from online. Assuming you're a male, since I've had many similar experiences. But have you seen what an even moderately attractive woman's Tinder app looks like? I was hanging with basically a FWB who was pretty much an absolute mess. And cute but not bangin' hot. And she kept getting Tinder notifications, so she opened the app and I expressed curiosity at what women's Tinder looks like, and it was like when you see a friend's mail app need push notifications in the thousands. Like holy duck, all I see are red notifications all the way down. It's probably less about you and more that these women have so many options. The odds of any one person keeping their interest goes down. Met a girl on Plenty of Fish. We went out, but it didn't really work out. We are still friends and talk frequently 3+ years later. AWW, that's really nice. It's amazing to know that even if it doesn't romantically work out, you can still have a friend. I met my wife in a less traditional online setting. We met on Sparks Live 6 years ago. I was playing Forza Horizon and she joined the party chat I was in. She was playing COD at the time. It's so great seeing everyone else's get together stories on this thread. Congrats to all of you who connected with that special someone through the love of video games. For those who've had some bad experiences, I hope it's all just water under the bridge now. I married and divorced a man I met on Tinder, so yes and no. It's crazy that Tinder has been around long enough for this cycle to complete. In my mind it feels like it's still a new thing, but I guess it's been around for a while. Don't know the circumstances of the divorce, but sorry to hear it. Congratulations. Messaged by a girl on Bumble who was wearing a pro wrestling and a Mass Effect shirt in 2 different pics, and responded immediately. Been dating for over a year now. Did you mention your reach and flexibility? I met a boy online 14 years ago when I was 17. He was in Alaska. I was in Australia. But he was my online dating boyfriend. He's currently sitting next to me in Australia as my husband of 8 years. 10 would find in the abyss of the internet and marry so hard again. Whoa. I wasn't expecting this to get so much love. Thank you for the awards. Nice words and questions. To clarify some common questions. We met by chance. We weren't using a dating website. We accidentally found each other on a forum website and fell hard for each other. We started chatting in 2006. Kept in touch using MSN and Skype. He came out to Australia for a visit in 2009. I went there for a visit in 2010. He moved here on a temporary work holiday visa in 2011. We got married in 2012. Then went through the long process of a partner visa. I once online dated a girl in Australia. I lived in California. I met on StarCraft. He was about 16 years ago, and we were both teenagers. I was 15, and she was 14, I think, and we used to send each other calling card numbers to talk on the phone. Gamed together all the time. And one day, we said our normal daily goodbye and I never saw her again. Sometimes I wonder about it. I'm 33 now, so this was a long time ago. Long story short, met the love of my life on POF in September 2018. Soulmate who completed me, made me and my body sing. He got diagnosed with cancer in January 2019. Given 12-18 months to live. Died December 2019. So, very good for 14 wonderful months. Once again I have been inundated with condolences, thoughtful messages and offers of chats, if and when needed, by hundreds of lovely people, apart from one troll who questioned my maths, but I'm not wasting my thoughts on him. I will reply to everyone individually as soon as I can. But for now, can I say one big massive thank you to everyone who has taken the time to contact me. Please believe me when I say that you are all very much appreciated. Got married to the person I met online dating. After countless shit dates, it was just really nice, relaxed, and we just clicked. We've barely been apart since, and that was 10 years ago. Same. I was going through a no more dating, just hookups phase when he asked me out for coffee. The typical I'm looking for something serious line. I kept dodging until I got laryngitis and was so high on meds I said yes. 5 years later, we are in a new country, got married and have a 5-month-old baby. Best accidental swipe ever. Was gonna swipe no as he wasn't really my type. So not really dating, but I met my husband online, in our MSN chat room, in 1999, when online dating was unheard of. One day he sent me a private message for those of you who have never heard of MSN chat and asked if he could come see me. He lived 5 hours away and drove down to take me to dinner and then drove back home. 20 years later we are married for 13 years after doing long distance for 7 and have 3 kids. I met my wife in a chat room in 1999. Just by chance she only lived 30 miles from me. We went to college together, got married, had 2 kids, and bought a house near her parents. Matched my missus on Tinder. Both type 1 diabetic. Both worked in the same company. Became the factory legend because I got with an office girl. Now we live in Arundel with a river in our back garden. I wasn't truly searching for a boyfriend, but I met a boy online and we started dating in 2016. He moved in a year and a half later, and we just celebrated our 4-year anniversary. Met my girl on Tinder. 45 years later we have a kid. Started Tinder for a few months. 2-3 months no matches. Did my pictures twice. Still nothing. Deleted and haven't tried again. Thinking of trying again. Edit WoW. This comment doubled my karma alone. Thanks for the words of encouragement, advice and PMs. I will be putting effort in taking good and interesting pictures of myself and starting a fresh account. I have 1 more month of coding. Feels like that would be a good point to start. I've read older accounts aren't prioritized as much after a while. Try remaking an account altogether. I think you have to do this every couple of months. I was skeptical about it, but I swiped aggressively both left and right for 2 weeks hoping something would work out. Ended up that after 3 weeks I had a date with 2 separate girls Saturday and 1 Sunday. Saturday flaked the morning of, claiming to be too hungover to make it. Mind you, this was 10 hours before the agreed time, so I was not impressed. I was cool about it though. Said we could reschedule for later in the week. Second girl messaged me that afternoon asking if I wanted to meet that night instead. I said yeah, absolutely, thinking, hey, that's pretty neat. So we agree to meet at a restaurant of her choosing. And I show up 5 minutes early, get there, and there's a private event that's closed to the public. So now I'm thinking this is quite a curveball. I wonder if I will have to pretend to know someone at their private corporate event. It wasn't that, though. She just didn't know about the private event. So we went somewhere else. Been seeing her for over a month now, and it's going great. Sure, there are plenty of horror stories, but really my personal opinion is that even if you have 9 bad dates, it only takes 1 for it all to turn around. I may have gotten lucky, it is still early, but even if I hadn't, if you are serious about wanting a relationship you have to keep trying. It won't fall out of the sky. Tried serious dating. Just ended up increasing the number of men I've slept with. Edit, someone seriously texted me slut. The shaming is real. I was talking with a woman friend of mine recently. She's not very attractive, let's say a 6. She's okay with looking for casual 6, but she avoids mentioning this at all in her profile. She told me that the NR1 problem for her is choosing who to go out with because there are way too many creepy ones. But she gets lots of matches when she activates her profile, few pictures, no text. In the meantime, I get like 2 matches a week, out of which just 1 answers every month, with carefully chosen pictures. BO and whatnot. The imbalance of numbers between the 2 genders in my area is completely out of control.